Welcome
to the intimacy journey.
Number 8. You made it to number 8. And this one's about inspiring, encouraging, and lifting up your mate.
See, she's already doing it right now. No, it really means a lot. Hey, you guys have been following us for a while, and thank you for that,
yeah.
for
and
watching
we are
it.
Not on a mountain in Colorado today.
Unfortunately, and if you're in Texas, you know it's way too hot right now.
No, it was like 104 today.
Ugh.
But instead, we are in the studio where I tape 2 of my talk shows, Homemade Money.
One of them.
And 3 Days to a Raise.
And I'm the producer, and you should just see her behind the scenes. She's amazing.
What we wanted to talk today is about what it takes what you have to pour into the other person in order to have true intimacy.
Which really what it is, I mean, we were talking earlier, and many of us are like a desert, I think, sometimes, where we're kind of parched and we long for like water.
Yeah, especially this time in Texas.
Yeah, and so, you know, what does water do? It softens the ground. It brings life. Mm-hmm. And so the words of encouragement that you were talking about are so important. It's not just words of encouragement, it's really what is the person's love language. Because when you know the person's love language and you love them that way, it's like living water in a desert. It brings incredible things. But here's the deal. There's a flip side to that, is we all need that living water. If you are not giving that to your significant other, if they start to get it somewhere else, even unknowingly, it draws them in the wrong direction. So it's
you're like
really
drawn to it like a magnet.
Like a magnet. So it is really important to understand that. So we're going to cover Gary Chapman's 5 love languages. If you haven't read the book, we encourage you to do so because it's really important. But what are they?
Before I read the book, it always bothered me when people had been married for 30 years and got a divorce and said, I never felt loved. And it also bothered me when people raised 2 kids in the same household, and one would say, oh, my parents love me so much, and the other one would say, my parents never loved me. And I thought, how could that be? They were in the same household. It's because they had different love languages.
Okay, well, I confess, you know what, because the love languages are not just, like you said, they're not just for a dating relationship or marriage. It's everyone around you. I recently, after decades, just realized what my mom's love language is. I've never talked to her about it. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe I missed that.
It makes a huge difference. So the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, which would be spending time with someone in uninterrupted time, doesn't count your cell phone use, physical touch, gift giving, and acts of service. So it would be like making a meal for them, watching the kids so your wife could take a bath, those type of things.
Now, here's the really cool thing, because we're talking about, we're in this intimacy journey that we've invited you into between us. So what's mine? Yours
are words of affirmation and physical touch.
No, shit, that's right. Yeah, I just thought I would say that. So, no, actually, she's dead on. She knows that very well, especially words of affirmation, because I tell you what, it's so important. When I'm having a really rough day, when she speaks even just one word of encouragement of, you know, you can do this, or you're not a failure, or whatever in that certain thing, it just breathes life. Like we said, water brings life, and that's really huge. And so I want to make sure, let's see, I'm hoping I'm getting it right, so you may ding me.
You better get it right.
So let's see. Yours is, it would be quality time and physical touch, and those kind of change from time to time. So, yeah, guys, this is not physical touch, by the way. But there's a third one that pops up in there, and that's service.
Acts of service, yeah, because my mom showed me love by acts of service, absolutely. And if you haven't figured it out, you can offer different options to someone. You can say, I know there's a special day coming up. How about we go out to dinner? Or how about I make you dinner? Or how about I buy you that thing that you've wanted for a long, long time? And you can give them options.
Now, here's the deal, because we're going to take you on a whole nother level, because there are the 5 love languages that you need to be engaging in, but there's a whole foundation underneath it, and for many of you who have been watching this, you know what it is. But if you're just picking up this episode today, we want to help you understand what the foundation is for real intimacy. And that is
living in the truth.
It is living completely in truth. And it's being honest, not just with your significant other, but how you're feeling, what your fears are. Yes, guys, it's important to share that.
And we're talking about vulnerable, painful, fear-based honesty that tells the other person things that are at the root of what you're thinking of.
Now, here's something even deeper, and that is, in order to share those kind of things, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be willing to face truth about some things that may not always be pleasant, and we've had many of those discussions.
I talk to people that have been together for 12 years, and they said there's still things I can't tell my mate. Right, so that is not part of the intimacy journey. I'm talking about going to the deepest parts, and the opposite happens of what you expect. So when I share something with him that I know is going to hurt him at some level, and I share exactly how I'm feeling, the opposite happens where I think, he's going to be really upset for a few days. We probably won't talk. I can't imagine. The opposite happens is we get closer and closer. Right after I share it, when I do it in love, obviously.
Well, and here's the deal. Even if she says it very bluntly, because I'm a words of encouragement guy, right? You do give words of encouragement. So I know consistency with your character is you care about me. So if you say something hard to me, I can receive it. Because here's the deal. When you live in truth, it creates security. It creates peace. It creates an environment you can be vulnerable in. And so when you share something or, direct something, maybe even a character flaw in myself, I can face it and know you're not attacking me. And it's all good. So, it's the foundation of everything, which really brings us to another thing that's really, really important, and that is boundaries and protection. You know what? Freedom is found with boundaries. A lot of us think that freedom is it's with no boundaries. It's not. That brings destruction. But when you have boundaries, meaning I need to protect your emotions. If I value you, when you're having a hard day, I'm not going to make it about me. I'm going to take time to listen to you and say, how can I love you? What's your love language? How can I speak to you? What can I do for you in a way that's going to encourage you in this situation?
It's very hard. You're actually going to have to put the other person's needs ahead of your own. It's a very selfless love. In order to be truly intimate, you have to care about your mate the same way you selflessly might love your children, where you put their needs and their desires ahead of your own.
So check this out. Sounds like a crazy thing, but a healthy boundary is intentionally loving the other person ahead of yourself and trying to get your needs met. If you do that, I'm pouring living water into you, and other people who pour that into you, you're not going to go seeking out after that, right? So it's really important to get this, both the love languages and living in the truth.
There's one other thing, is not letting the negative voices of other people pour in. So then what happens? Things are going well for you, but all of a sudden, a friend, an uncle, a neighbor, a cousin says, oh, I don't know if you should be dating that person, or you shouldn't be married to that person anymore. And they feed in their negative thoughts, and it overcasts the relationship.
So the second boundary is protect the relationship. Here's the deal. When you're living in truth, when we're completely honest with each other, you know what? I know her. And so when anyone speaks anything into us or about her that's negative, I can go, you know what? That's not true. That is not truth. And here's the crazy thing, and you're going to know exactly what we're talking about. Many family members think something completely different of you than who you really are. Don't listen to those voices. Listen to the voice of truth. Live in an honest relationship. Let life grow from that. Let that be your encouragement.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us for number 8.
And we have number 9 on the way, and we got lots of great stuff now.
Sounds like a baby. We have number 9 on the way. We're never having babies, so.
We've had plenty. All right, so we want to say thank you for watching us. We want to hear from you, so please send us your comments. Send Bethany, send me, whether it's on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever you're watching this.
We love the comments.
We are grateful for you giving us input. We want to hear your struggles, your questions, everything. So please let us know.
We get a lot of messages and we love them. Keep them coming.
Yep. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining us, and have an awesome day.